Today, in this lecture, we will learn about introduction to transport layer, followed by protocols, and followed by UDP and TCP. The first topic is introduction to transport layer. This comes under the unit 4 transport layer. So in AC 8551 communication network, unit 4 is transport layer. Okay, under this, we start with introduction. The transport layer, we all know that transport layer is the fourth layer of OSI model. It is the fourth layer of OSI model. Main thing is here, it provides host to host communication services for the application. Say the transport layer is the fourth layer in OSI model, and it is responsible for end-to-end communication over a network. So main thing is it is responsible for the delivery of message from one process to another process. So we may call it as process to process delivery, right? So transport layer is main responsible for transport layer is delivery of message from one process to another process, or we may call it called end-to-end communication over a network. It provides logical communication between application process running on different hosts. Okay, it provides logical communication between application process running on different hosts. So it means it receives the data from the applications. Okay, first point is it receives the data from the application layer. Application layer is the topmost layer. So that is nothing but your user interface, isn't it? Suppose if you want to send a mail, means just open your laptop or PC desktop. You launch your browser. First thing is you launch your browser, either Microsoft Edge or Chrome or Web Opera or any web browser. You just open it and type your addresses. That is www.gmail.com. Okay. This process, okay, the front end process, no, that is we call it as application layer. It is happened at the application layer. So here the application is specific process. You have the many application in your internet, but you take you are going to operate only for specific application. So here the specific application is Gmail, right? So side by side you have open many application also, right? Your computers may often running on different applications, isn't it? I am open the Gmail and I minimize it and I open next window. There I open it Google and I minimize it, and then again I will open a new window and there I will launch open Facebook, www.facebook.com, okay, or any website. So at a time, as a user, you can run different application in your PC or in your laptop. Okay, but here the transport layer, the communication is only set for specific application only, right? So the transmission of messages process to process, end to end, it means specific to specific application. Okay, here our transport layer, it provides the logical communication between, that's why I'm saying here logical communication between application process running on different hosts. Okay, right. So it provides the services such as connection oriented communication, reliability, flow control, error control, then multiplexing. Okay, these are the services which provided by the transport layer, right? Let us see how it will happen. First thing is it receives the data from the application. Okay, application is topmost layer. So it receives data from application layer. Your data, it may be very long. So our transport layer, what it will do means, first thing is it just break it into chunks. Okay, that is we call it as segments. On lengthy pack data, it can be cut into number of pieces. So the pieces, each pieces we call it as segments. Right? Now, these segments are send them to network router, because after transport we have network layer, isn't it? Network layer is the third layer. Transport layer is the fourth layer. Right? So first it receives the data from the application, and it will be chunked into segments and then send them into network router for delivery. Am I clear? First it receives the data from application layer and it will break it into number of pieces, that is chunk. We call it as segments. Then finally the transport layer send this segment into network router which is present in the network layer. Right? This is the operation. So the transport layer is operated by your operating system, and it is referred to as heart of your OSI model. So here the transport layer, it can act as a heart of the OSI model. So last lecture, as I said, first I will group into in 7 different layer of OSI model. It will be grouped into 3 subgroups, isn't it? So one is physical data link network. You separate into one group. Then above layer, session and application is separated into one group. Then transport layer is separated to another group. So now this transport layer, this third group, it can act as a heart of your OSI model. Right? So simply you can say the transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery of entire messages. Okay. So process to process, but it transmits complete message, thorough message. Right? Whatever message it can receive, it will send them to your destination point. Right? So without any error. Next thing is, before enter into services, I want to share some more points about the transport protocol. So here, the main process of application program running on a host. Right? Suppose your network layer, it will monitor source to destination delivery of individual packets. Okay, I just compare with network layer and as well as transport layer, because transport layer, it receives the message from application and break up into number of chunks, that is we call it as segments. Now these segments is transmitted into router which is present in the network layer. Right? So now the network layer, what will do means, network layer, it will take care of to overseas of source to destination delivery of individual packet. So packet by packet, it will be transmitted between source to destination. But here it does not recognize any relationship between those packets. Okay. So network layer, it will transmit packet by packet from source to destination. But it ensures, okay, there is no relationship between the each packet. Am I clear? Right. Now, network layer, how it will be treat this packet means it treat each one independently. Okay, because there is no relationship between the each packets. Okay, so here it will treat each one independently. Okay, as though each pieces is belong to a separate messages. Am I clear? Each pieces, it belongs to separate messages. Right. So the transport layer, when it comes to transport layer section, it is happened in the network layer session. Now we just come into the transport layer session. The transport layer session, it ensures the whole messages, okay, complete messages, whole messages, it arrives intact and in order. Okay, it means the whole messages, okay, if there is any damages. So here it never provide any damage packet to allowed into source to destination. Okay, intact or in order. Suppose if the messages are out of order, our transport layer it will do to reorder your segment. If it is out of order, it will do reorder your segment. Okay, so again reorder your segment, it will transmit from source to destination. Am I clear? So network layer, what it will do means network layer it will transmit your messages as a packet. Okay, but there is no relationship between the each packet, because each packet it can carry the different messages. But in transport layer, here it ensure, okay, whole messages it will arrive in not damaged. It means intact or in order. Suppose if it is an out of order means it will do the reorder your segments. Okay, so that's why like a data link layer, our transport layer also it will have the error control mechanism and flow control mechanism at the source to destination delivery. Okay, so like actually error control and flow control mechanism it will already be discussed in the second unit, that is data link layer control, because data link layer control only provides the error control mechanism, flow control mechanism and congestion control mechanism. This and all we discussed in the previous lecture, isn't it? Now our transport layer is also can have the error control and flow control. Okay, so finally you conclude, so transport layer is the responsible for delivery of message from one process to another process. Okay, as I said, computer, for example, your computers are often it can run the several programs at several times at same time. Okay, at a time you can run a several program in your system. So for this reason only, the source to destination delivery not only from one computer to next computer, okay, but also from specific process from one computer to specific process run on the another computer. So this is the main reason. Just now, as I said, you just open your system, you can run your open the browser, open your browser. So within the browser, you can open number of tabs. So each tab you can run it several specific process. For example, one tab I open the Facebook, and another tab I open the Gmail, and another tab I open the Google account, and another one tab I can browse the open the another specific application. Okay, but here our network layer, transport layer, okay, the main thing is the transport layer is not only transmit your segment from one computer to another computer. Okay, so transport layer is send your messages, that is segments, from one specific process run on your computer to another specific process run on your destination computer. Am I clear? Right. For example, if I want to send an email from myself to you, okay, you are opening your side, you are opening your PC and open the Gmail account. My side, I open my PC and I open the Gmail account. From my Gmail account, I compose my mail and I send it to you. Okay, at the same time, you can open your browser, you can open your mail in your browser, and you will receive my mail from my mail ID, isn't it? Right. So this is what happened at the transport layer, right? So how it will happen means the transport layer header, it includes the different types of address. Okay, that is we call it service point addresses in OSI model. When you talk about in OSI model, so it can act as a service point address. When you talk about in internet, here it represents port number or port address. Suppose if you talk about in protocol suite, so here the main protocol is here using TCP protocol or IP protocol. Are we clear? Right? So service point addressing OSI model. So I will give you the destination address. Okay, and also I will assign the some port number or port addresses. Okay, these two will be happen at the internet side. And also for communication side, I want to use the protocol. So here we are using the TCP and IP protocol, that is internet protocol. Okay, so this is a overview introduction about the transport layer. Okay, I hope now you all understood about what is transport layer, how it will be working. So why we need the transport layer in OSI model. Okay, everything I will be discussing right now. Next thing is, what are the services which you provide by the transport protocol? Okay, what are the services which you provide by transport protocol? First services is, it is a said to be connection oriented communication, safe order delivery, reliability, flow control, congestion avoidance, that is CA, multiplexing port. So these are the services which provide by the transport layer. So these are the points we discussed in upcoming lecture, because this is the upcoming topic in your 4th unit, services. So here I want to show you the relationship between transport and network layer. So this is the point we discussed right now. The network layer and transport layer are responsible for moving messages from end to end in a network. So it means source to destination in a network. Okay, so they are closely tied together, that they are usually discussed together. So network layer and transport layer, it will be closely tied. The transport layer, it performs 3 functions. One is linking the application layer to network layer. Okay, that is the first function. It will do linking of application layer to network layer. Next thing is segmenting. So segment means, as I said now earlier, so breaking a long message into small packet for transmission. That is segment. Okay. Next thing is session management. So it means establishing a end-to-end connection between sender and receiver. Okay, it means establishing a connection between source to destination. After sending a packet, it will be terminated. Right. So here the main thing is to establish a connection between source and destination. So these 3 important functions has to be done in the transport layer. One is, once again I repeat, linking the application layer to the network layer, application layer to network layer. Second thing is segmenting. Third one is session management. Okay, next we come to network layer. The network layer, it will perform only the 2 functions. One is routing function. Okay, routing in the sense determining your next computer to which the message should be sent to reach your final destination. That is routing. Yeah, routing is the second unit now. So last class you are discussed about so many things about the routing concept, basic concept of routing. The routing is which will be helpful for to determine the best path. Okay, or to transfer your packet from source to destination. Which packet is best one? Okay, it will be selected by the router, right? So our network layer here, the routing, it plays a major role in the network layer, right? So second thing is addressing. So finding the address of the next computer. So this will all happen at the network layer. So main function is, one is routing to select the path. Second one is addressing to select the address. Okay, where you want to send your message, right? So with help of these 2 only, your network layer, it will operate. Without these 2 functions, your network layer, it will start to operate. Okay, if you want to send your message from source to destination, first thing is you want to find out the path. Second thing is, main thing is you need the address, destination address. So with the help of these 2 only, you can able to send your message from your source to destination. Okay, now am I clear about the what is network layer and what is transport layer? Okay, so we have several standard transport and several standard network layer protocols are available. Okay, these protocols are specify how packets are to be organized, how your packet ought to be organized. In the same way that there are standards for data link layer packets. Okay, however, only one protocol is in widespread use today. So what is the protocol? So transport layer protocol. See, look at this slide. So in this slide, transport layer, network layer, data link layer. Okay, transport layer, network layer, data link layer. This is source part. This is your destination part. Okay, so in destination layer, transport layer, you can have the if you want to send your message along with a certain protocol. So TCP protocol, SMTP protocol. That is TCP means transmission control protocol. Okay, here you are using not SMTP, SCTP. It means stream control transmission protocol or stream message transmission protocol. Both are same. SMTP or SCTP. Okay, whereas in network layer you have IP, that is internet protocol, along with TCP, SMTP message. Okay, in this box only it will comes down here. Okay, so I add one more box here, that is IP, internet protocol. Right. Next, when it comes down to a data link layer, it means here in transport layer, this box it represents segments, segment by segment. Now, when it comes down to network layer, it becomes the packet. Okay, to add one more data box here, it becomes a packet. Now, this packet will transmit into data link layer. Right? Now, data link layer, it forms the frames, frame by frames. Right? So, here message also included, SMTP, TCP. This is first set of segment. Next, second one is IP. So, IP is included here, encapsulated here. Now, it becomes the packet. Next, I will convert along with the Ethernet is enclosed in this encapsulated packets. Now it will become the frames. Now these frames will comes down at a destination part. Again, this frame will be reduced into become into packet. Now this packet will be converted into segment. Okay, so each layer it will be one by one. It will be decomposed. That is discarded your each packets. Okay, here Ethernet will be discarded here. Here IP will be discarded here, right? Finally, you can receive the original message. So this is how our packet will be operated. Okay, so these are the close relationship between transport network and the data link layer. Okay, now transport layer in internet, right? So what are the protocols we used in the transport layer? First protocol, there are three important protocols are used in the transport layer. Okay, so this is the second topic in your unit 4. So protocol. First protocol is TCP protocol and another one is UDP protocol. Okay, TCP. First thing is TCP protocol and another one is UDP and third one is SCTP. Okay, these are the three main protocols which is used in the transport layer. TCP means transmission control protocol. UDP is user datagram protocol. SCTP is stream control transmission protocol. Okay, TCP. First, let us see the TCP. So TCP is a connection oriented protocol. Okay, in this slide, the first thing is I am going to discuss about TCP only because TCP is connection oriented protocol. UDP is connection-less protocol. SCTP is connection-oriented protocols. So it means TCP and SCTP are connection-oriented. UDP is connection-less, right? So TCP, it provides a reliable communication. It provides a full duplex communication by byte streams to its user. Okay, reliable full duplex. It will happen at a TCP. Whereas in UDP is, here we have the UDP socket. UDP socket means here socket is nothing but combination of IP address as well as port number. So that is we call it socket address. Okay, suppose in 2 months they will be asking what is socket addresses means. You have to say combination of IP address as well as port number. It represents socket address. Okay, this is example for UDP. Next, SCTP. SCTP is stream control transmission protocol. So this is a connection oriented protocol. The main thing is here also it provides the reliable and full duplex. So TCP and SCTP are both are same, not exactly same, similar. Okay, first let us see one by one. So here the transport layer in internet, so connection oriented. Connection oriented. So it requires the session connection be established before any data it can be sent. Before any data it can be sent. So first thing is you want to establish your connection between the source to destination. Okay, if you want to send a data, before sending a data, you need to establish a connection between source to destination. After that only, after establishing the connection, then only you can start to transmit your data from source to destination. Okay, so this method is often called as reliable. So what is reliable means? Okay, before the send a data, you need to establish the connection between source to destination. That is the reliable. So it can have the guarantee that the data will arrive in the same order. Once you made the connection, your data will arrive in same order. It is not going into the out of order. Okay, it will be traveling in order. That is intact. So it is the connection oriented services. It sets up the virtual link between end system through the network. So virtual link between source to destination. Next thing is TCP. TCP is used in connection oriented. Okay, so this is about the transport layer in internet. Okay, one more thing I want to share here. So here main thing is here you talk about only the TCP. Here only we talk about the TCP. Okay, transmission control protocol, right? So in the TCP, the transport layer protocol can either connectionless or connection oriented, isn't it? So connectionless transport layer means it treats each segment as an independent packet. Connectionless means each segment as treated as an endless, that is independent packet. Okay, and separate packet. So there is no relationship between the each packet, and it deliver into transport layer at the destination machines. Okay, so here source transport layer present in the source machine, transport layer present in the destination machine. I want to send this data to from here to here. Okay, so here a connection less, here there is, suppose there is no connection here. Here there is no connection here between source to destination. Okay, so now a connectionless transmission layer, it reads each segment. Each segment is independent packet. Okay, so and it delivered to transmission layer present in the destination machine. Suppose if it is connection oriented, this person, it makes the connection with the transport layer at the source machine to transport layer present in the destination machine. Okay, so first it made the connection before delivering your packet. Before delivering your packet, right? In transport layer message, how it will be transmitted message means first thing is it will be transmitted to segment, right? So now UDP, one more layer is we call it as UDP protocol now, that is use the datagram protocol. So this is connection oriented protocol. Now this UDP, it treats each segment separately. Okay, separate segment, right? But in TCP and SCTP, it creates a relationship between the segments. How it will be show the relationship? By using the sequence number, that is port number. With help of the sequence number, you can assign the sequence number for each segment. Okay, so based upon this number, it will shows the relationship between the each segment. Okay, so finally, I will conclude about these three protocols: TCP, UDP, and SCTP. Okay, UDP is here not involved in any flow control or error control mechanism because it is a connection oriented. So in connection oriented system, there is no possibility for to make a error. Okay, there is no possibility for to control your flow of data. Okay, whereas in TCP and SCTP, here you follow the error control and flow control mechanism. Okay, here you are using the sliding window technique. So sliding window technique, which is used for flow control, and acknowledgement sequence is used for to indicate the error control. Okay, sliding window and acknowledgement technique. These two techniques are used in the TCP as well as SCTP. SCTP. This is a very important topic. Okay, write short notes on TCP, UDP, and SCTP. Or explain briefly discuss about the transport layer in internet. Okay, so these are the very important question in the fourth unit, right? First it comes into TCP, how it will be operated. Okay, so this is connectionless. So connectionless means UDP. Connectionless means UDP, user datagram protocol, right? So connectionless means UDP. UDP. Okay, user datagram protocol. So here it does not require any session connection between sender and the receiver. So first point, it does not require any session connection between sender and receiver because it is connectionless. Second point is the sender simply starts the sending packet. It simply starts sending packets. That is called as datagram. So datagram means packets, we call it datagram here. Okay, so to your destination. Third point is here the services does not have the reliability. Okay, connection oriented model only we have the reliability. Connectionless here we are not does not have the reliability. Okay, but it is useful for periodic burst transfer. Okay, if you want to send burst, that is more amount of data, you can send it periodically here, right? So neither system must maintain the state information for the system that they send the transmission to receive the transmission from. Okay, it is neither. Next point is connectionless networks provide the minimal services only. And fourth important point is it is less reliable than the connection oriented. Yeah, as I said, no, connection oriented only have the more reliable. Connectionless we have the less reliable. Next, finally, here UDP is used in the connectionless services. That is, user datagram protocol or used in the connectionless. So TCP, that is transport layer, it will be operated under the two categories. One is connection oriented and another one is connectionless. Connection oriented TCP and SCTP are used. Connectionless UDP are used. Okay, connectionless UDP are used. Look at this picture. So this is TCP. So in TCP here, connection oriented. So from this source system, this one is acting as a destination system. So I want to send a mail from source to destination. It starts to send a mail. Okay, after establishing the connection between the source to destination. So suppose when it say error means if it is data is corrupted, it will say there will be some error. Okay, at the time what will happen? It will send the acknowledgement to the source. Okay, after receiving the acknowledgement, it will again send the retransmit your packet. Okay, so this is happened at a TCP. But in UDP, this is connectionless. This is not reliable one. Okay, what will happen? This is your source. This is your destination. I want to send my mail from source to destination. Here, not all data is present, so do not send. Do not resend. Okay, so because it is not reliable. Okay, so this is happening at UDP. Right. Next thing is next parameter is multiplexing concept. Okay, so multiplexing, you all know that it is nothing but many to one, isn't it? So many input, one output. So here, how it will be operated? Our protocols layer, it will be operated under this multiplexing concept means. So multiplexing is the process in which multiple data streams. Okay, multiple data streams. For example, at a time in your YouTube, you open the YouTube, you can download any video. Okay, based upon the stream, you can download the stream video, isn't it? Right? So at the same time, you can download many videos in the same YouTube link, right? Or you may receive the video from your destination side, source side, right? If anyone send your video to you, right? For example, I send you one video to you. You can download my video. Okay. First thing is at live itself, you can see my video, right? So based upon your net connection, internet connection, strong internet connection. If you have strong internet connection, Okay, without downloading, you can open my video and view my video, right? This is the first part. This is what we call it live streaming, right? And the second option is downloaded option. Okay, first you download my complete video. You download my entire video. Okay, after downloading, you download, you get succeeded, you get one messages, that is your file will be downloaded, right? Your file was downloaded. So once you get this message, you open my video, and you can able to see my video fully. Okay, so this is a second option, right? So now multiplexing is the process in which multiple data streams coming from different sources. Okay, this all these data streams are combined and transmitted over a single data channel or data stream. Okay, when I at the same time, okay, for example, Rama send one video, Kumar send another video, Dinesh send another video. Okay, I receive all this video and I transmit it into single channel. Okay, single data stream. But the destination, it receives these multiple videos here. Okay, for example, in electronic communication, the two basic form of multiplexing, one is TDM, time division multiplexing, and another one is frequency division multiplexing, that is FDM. Okay, so multiplexing is done by equipment called multiplexer, that is MUX. So it is placed at the transmitting end of the communication link. Okay, so this is many to one. So you want to send receive a packet from different source, that is, and it is sent into single data stream. Now demultiplexing. Demultiplexing, that is the vice versa, opposite order. At receiving end, what will happen? The composite signal is separated by an equipment. We call it demultiplexer. So it means one to many, one to many. Okay. So demux, it performs the reverse process of your mux and routes the separated signal to their corresponding receiver. Okay, or corresponding destination. So this is what happened at a demultiplexing. Okay, look at this slide. So this is signal source. So S1, S2, S3 are separate sources are available. In each sources, it will send their data streams, that is packets. So here look at this 765, 765, 765. Likewise, so all these signals receive, okay, and it transmits through a single channel, that is transmission channel. This is what happened at the source side. In receiving side, okay, here we have the destination, that is demultiplexer. So it receives a single packet and it will be, okay, converted into number of segments. So it means many to one means here one to many. So here I will send the 3 to 1 packet here, 3 to 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1. Right? This is receiving source. So this is what happened at the multiplexing source at source end, and the demultiplexer is happened at a receiving link. So within this I concluded my topic. So next class we are discussing about the more interesting session, that is more interesting topic discussed under this transport layer, because this is unit 4 is very interesting session for you, because here we have only the three things is one is connection oriented and another one is connectionless, and the three protocol TCP and UDP and SCTP. So the whatever point you discussed it, only the point is thing is circle about these three content only. Okay, so it is very easy unit for you. Okay, within this I conclude my topic. If you have any doubt, you can ask me right now.